Welcome back to another episode of the K-Dog&Fish Show. I am Fish.
K-Dog!
It's a special Wednesday show because something happened today. The price went up at Entertainment Earth.
Shocker!
So this morning, Entertainment Earth dropped the bomb that we all knew was coming. We've been talking about this for a long time. Even a show earlier this year where we found out from the Canadian distributor that come summer the price was going up huge and what Canadian retailers are going to have to start charging for commons. Well, that hit the USA today,
right?
As Entertainment Earth raised their price on commons from $11.99 to $16.99 USD. Therefore, a 40% increase. Not a little increase, a 40% increase. Now, as somebody alluded to in our Funko Soda show from Tuesday, the Nostradamus of Funko here has been calling it for a while. So
people wouldn't believe him.
No, but it happened. So your thoughts on a 40% increase on commons?
I'm going to quote an amazing actor that we recently lost.
Oh, rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Okay.
Oscar-winning actor.
Okay.
From Smokey and the Bandit, Burt Reynolds.
Okay.
Won Best Actor. Jackie Gleason won Best Supporting Actor.
I don't think he won.
They sweep the Oscars.
I don't think that's real.
Famously said,
Okay.
"This is where the rubber meets the road."
Now that actually might be a quote from Smokey.
I thought it might be. I don't know.
It might be.
I don't know.
The
But anyways,
Oscar thing, no.
But my point is,
Okay.
This is where Funko is going to have to sit there and realize some collectors are going to be willing to pay that.
Yeah.
And some collectors are going to take the other road,
Yeah.
which is not Funko. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
rubber meets the road. Do you want to pay that much? That's a big increase. That was way more than I thought it was going to be.
40%.
That's
And the funny thing wasn't the Canadian increase about 30%?
yes, but that was our wholesale price.
That's the wholesale. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's just we should say this Entertainment Earth price, this is their retail price.
Right.
To customers. And USA, you got hit in your own backyard. And I want to know what American collectors think who use Entertainment Earth a lot.
Yeah.
They're one of the biggest online retailers.
They're huge.
They're massive.
Yeah.
They also supply wholesale. So I can only imagine what that price went to. But $11.99 common, which pretty much online with the Funko shop because they were $12.
Yeah.
Now going to $16.99
Yeah.
USD. B-Money, what is that in Canadian? Look that up.
A lot.
Probably 22.
A lot.
But that is a huge increase. And will customers, or is Entertainment Earth gonna slow down? Are they gonna stop
They're definitely going to slow down.
getting as much Funko in?
Absolutely.
2360.
2360. So we predicted back in when it came to Canadian collectors that when the price increase hits here, that we would say most stores are going to have to charge $24.99 for common. So we weren't that far off
Getting pretty close.
with the prediction
Well, and this is a combination of what's going on right now currently.
in a political climate.
We're not political guys.
Yeah.
We don't dance in that chamber. If you want to, you know what I mean?
Is that a real expression?
I don't know. But
It's a good one.
Sounds good. You know?
Okay. Dance in that chamber.
I don't know. But regardless of that,
Yeah.
whatever, Funko has been making it very clear they're raising their prices.
Yeah.
So I think this is probably a combination of both. Because if you're getting hit on that other stuff, which we're not going to talk about, and then you're also going to get hit with the Funko price increase,
Yeah.
that's a double. We call that a double doink. And
So do you think that is tariff related then? The 40%.
I don't know exactly. I don't even
Jump.
Well, what tariffs have been actually initiated, which haven't been
they've
initiated.
been put on hold.
They were put on hold, but China doesn't have theirs on hold. Funko is made in China. It was at 20%.
Yeah.
Now it's at 45%. Now we're not putting it on iPhones.
Yeah.
Now it's 130% here.
Electronics
And so,
or
but
whatever.
where does collectibles fall into that?
Yeah.
So
You would think Entertainment Earth is getting their stock direct domestic from Funko USA.
yeah.
So this is just Funko raising their prices.
Yeah.
Really.
Well, I mean,
Either way.
I can assure you right now, and again, we're not going to get political because we are not political by any
Yeah.
means. Like I said, we don't dance in that. But there's no way Funko's making this stuff in America.
No. We know that.
Can you imagine how much a Project Fred would be if it was made in America? You know?
$6.99.
Like
Yeah, $699 USD.
it would be America, like
Yeah.
from remember that with the campaign
Oh my gosh.
with Will Ferrell
Yeah,
and
America.
Zach Galifianakis. By the way, that movie is so underrated. If
That's
you
an
haven't
underrated
watched it,
movie.
don't watch it with your kids because it's pretty. It's
Very R-rated.
It's a hard R for
Hard
sure.
R,
It's
yeah.
so funny. We make it in America.
Yeah. They named a city in China America so that they could say made in America.
So funny.
It was pretty funny.
So funny. But
Okay.
I think this is probably a combination of both.
Yeah.
Now, the word that we got from our wholesaler, not by word, we just read it on the website.
It was just a statement.
I shouldn't say word because we
Yeah.
didn't get any word. Was that the prices were going to go up July 1st? for
Yeah.
us. But
So this is early.
again, nothing like no idea what the pricing is.
yeah.
You know, and even now when I go on the pre-orders, the pricing's still all over the place. I
Yeah.
don't even know. Some are more, some are this.
These are
some
the
this.
same, like commons.
Yeah, and I'm just for commons and stuff, and I'm like, what's the actual price?
It's based on, I bet, the release date.
yeah,
So if it's coming in later this year, then it's going to be more.
it's.
But either
crazy.
way, this was huge news
Yeah.
for American collectors.
Yeah.
We have American fans that watch this show. We appreciate you guys. How do you feel about this? Like 40%. It didn't go from $11.99 to $13.99.
Yeah.
This went up 40%.
Here's the thing.
Okay.
Funko, we have our following. Funko has their following.
Yeah.
We're not going to stop collecting Funko. Other people are not going to stop collecting Funko.
No.
I think this is.
They might get more choosy.
I think this is a barrier of entry.
Okay.
If you know what I'm.
What do you
know
mean
I
by that?
What I mean by that? This is
Okay.
an economic term.
Put on your listening ears.
I need a little cap there.
Big boy pants.
So basically,
'Kay.
this price point is going to turn off new purchasers of Funko
Mm-hmm.
that have never purchased Funkos before.
Got
A barrier
you.
of entry, right? Because they're like, well, wait a sec. I thought Funko was an affordable gift I could get that was really funny, and it could just
Yeah.
be like something that's related to something that my girlfriend or my boyfriend liked or something like that.
Yeah.
And now it's like I thought I could get it for $12.99, and now it's wasn't it like $11.99, and now it's $16.99, and then in Canada it's gonna be like $24.99.
Yeah.
Now you're like, I don't like them that much, you know. So
I mean, it's still
you know?
at the end of the day when you're talking about like getting a gift. Is it really at $16.99 or $24.99? It's not that much money
Yeah.
when it comes to that. The new
You might only grab one instead of two.
yeah.
The new Funko, let's say there's a set, right? Then it starts to add up.
Right.
But the new tier pricing on exclusives,
Yeah, well,
that's a different
just stupid.
That's a different story.
Yeah,
but
but-
how many collectors are going to go, yeah, I'm going to get in on this, and now this more rare exclusive is going to be $60, $80, $100, $200.
I'll
Yeah.
pay
That
$20
tier
for that
system-
new Black Spider-Man.
What's that?
I'll pay $20 for that new.
Yeah,
symbiote
if you
Spider-Man.
really, really want the
Symbiote suit?
new
Yeah, from the
symbiote,
animated series.
if you really want something, you'll pay it. But I
Oh,
think
no.
it'll deter people as far as bulk,
Yeah.
how much
Yeah.
they get.
Yeah.
Absolutely, because
Well,
it'll
yeah.
start to add up.
And then I also think that this is where Funko is going to get themselves into another hiccup like they did with the pandemic
Yeah,
when they thought they were untouchable.
Yeah.
And they could just do whatever we want, you know? Like, we're Tom Cruise, you know? Like, we're the Tom Cruise of the collectible
I
industry.
could do the
We
Mummy.
can do whatever we want because we're
People
Tom
get
Cruise
mad.
and everyone loves me.
Well, I'll come back with Maverick.
Yeah, I'm gonna literally super glue myself to a plane, and the studio will let me do it because I'm Tom Cruise. But and I think they're gonna get themselves into some trouble here because people are going to be more selective. They will still purchase Funko. Funko's
Yeah.
not going away.
Absolutely.
They'll still purchase Funko, like today, the Dexter Pop. Well, that was a couple days ago.
Cup on Monday. Yeah.
And stuff like that. As long as it's
Sold
cool.
out.
Yeah, as long as it's cool and it speaks to you.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. There won't be that Funko collectors like we are. Will be like completists or this or that. Or
That's gonna stop.
It's going to slow down because now
Yeah.
you're going to be more selective because basically you just got a 40% kick in the nuts. Right.
Well, look at the.
Which means Funko's going to end up in a massive inventory surplus because they're not slowing down on
then
SKUs.
that'll go to Five Below.
But how's that going to do you any good? Because you're raising your prices because you were whining that you're not making enough money.
Yeah.
So that's why you're raising your prices to all your wholesalers and all your retailers. Well, if you're making all that money, you're sending it to Five Below. Well, Five Below is probably going to become Eight Below pretty soon. But,
They're going to change the name.
it's not going to be Five Below for very much longer.
Not going to be. Yeah.
You know, so.
But you make a good point about completists and sets. Like, let's take the brand new Breakfast Club set from whatever, a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
If somebody was trying to get the entire, and that was 5 pops in that set, well, now you're looking at, okay, let's put it in USD terms.
Yeah.
$16.99 just because you wanted 1 pop is not expensive. But when you want all 5 to do the Breakfast Club set, then it starts to get expensive.
Well, also when you do a set as a retailer, you take a little off, right? You kind of
we're actually one of the few people that do that.
Oh, because we're good people. And
we're good people.
You know, what do you want to do? We're givers. We're givers.
It's fine.
Don't worry about it. Don't
the
worry
award
about it.
ceremony next week.
It's okay. But last week of the month, we just don't turn the lights on because we can't afford it. We use candles. But, you know, I'm just saying, like, you won't be able to do that because it's going to be too expensive. I think everyone's going to get hurt in this, and a lot of retailers, smaller retailers, are going to be like, yeah, I got to get a Funko.
Yeah.
I think that's what's going to happen. You know?
Can I point out something? B Money sent a story, and I'll let him tell it, about how Lego turned things around when they were going to go bankrupt. And it was all based on ego and just pure insanity, like, we can do no wrong.
Yeah.
Ego, theme parks, all of it, like just... And they were how much in debt?
800 million.
800 million in debt?
Yeah, it's a little bit.
But then they went back to basics.
Right.
And they were able to turn things around, and now they just make absolute bank.
Yeah.
We're doing a whole show about Lego tomorrow, about the May the 4th drop, so make sure you check out that show. But tell us a bit about that story you sent me, because I thought it was really interesting.
Well, you pretty much covered most of it, but a new CEO stepped in 2003. And basically what we've been talking about with Funko is they had to lean startup the whole company.
Which they said that they were going to do.
Lego was making 7,000 plus unique parts, so they had to, that slowed down production. It was expensive.
Right.
So they simplified everything and made fewer bricks, and then they got licenses, which was
the licenses were huge.
Star Wars,
was
Harry Potter.
And then they started doing it they wanted Lego to have stories, and everybody liked having a story on the shelf and licenses and like slowing everything down. One of the big ones was Bionicle back in like 2003. That was a huge one, but they cut that because that was one of those unique Lego products that didn't really fit in with everything.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, and then they did a video game which blew off the shelves just like Funko Fusion.
The Lego video games are successful.
Yeah, they are.
Funko Fusion?
I'm not on the Lego
so
games.
Not so much.
No, Funko's gonna have to streamline. It's gonna be a rude awakening when they.
It doesn't stop. You know that we do
much.
a show here on this channel called What's Poppin' every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern. Tune in. And we go through how many new drops and coming soons that are announced weekly that we recap everybody on. It's insane.
Yeah.
The amount doesn't stop.
Yeah.
So I feel like they do need, and we've mentioned this on previous shows, got to go back to basics and be like, there's very few drops, and when they are, there's this FOMO, and there's really cool exclusives, and when you're doing these sets, it's just like 2 pops, and it's the most popular ones, and I take it back to the Tommy Boy.
Yeah.
They didn't do Rob Lowe. They didn't do Brian Dennehy. They just did Tommy and Richard.
Yeah.
And they did Fat Guy in a Little Coat, a Target exclusive.
Right.
3 pops for a massive fan base.
Yeah.
Comedy. 3 pops. You got all 3. You were super happy. It took us forever to find Fat Guy in a Little Coat back then. But like,
it's Target exclusive.
I don't think they'll ever slow down though, because
you just gotta slow
certain
down.
licenses demand the product. Like Marvel's always going to want everything. DC's going to want everything for a movie or promotion. Disney's going to want a bunch of stuff. So it's the little things, the movies they don't really have that demand a whole promotion.
Yeah.
They're going to make small amounts of, but you're not going to stop the big ones.
I don't know.
I also don't agree with what they did with Breakfast Club, 16 Candles, and Pretty in Pink.
Okay.
And they released them all at the same time.
Well, they were doing an 80s theme.
I know that, but I would have spread that out.
Say anything.
I think if you would have spread that out throughout the whole year,
yeah,
it would have more impact.
Okay,
Do you know what I mean?
I got you. Yeah,
like I get the 80s theme, I get that, but if you actually want to hit impact and you want to hit that nostalgia, if you hit it all at once, everyone's just like
overwhelmed.
It's too much.
It's too much. Your 80s,
and that's how much. If you wanted all the John Hughes stuff, because they also did Ferris Bueller.
And,
how much money would you have spent if there also a 40% increase that you wanted to complete the John Hughes set?
That's what I mean.
That's a lot.
Well, so you're probably leaving a little bit of cheddar on the table, and you're not blowing people away. Whereas if you waited,
should have done a year of the 80s.
Yeah. Well, if you waited till you just wait till September and then you launch the Ferris Bueller pops and people will lose their minds, right? Like
just
it would
space
just
it out.
Yeah,
space it out.
I don't know, but that's just Funko. They do what they do.
We say
and then you're also you're wasting your licenses because now you can't. Now you just you
blew your whole load in one shot.
Wasn't gonna say that, but yeah, pretty much. Yeah, because basically. Now you can't do Ferris Bueller again. I mean, I guess you could do like a specialty series of them in the car and stuff, which would be amazing in the Ferrari.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I mean, stuff like that.
Maybe say that for the anniversary.
Yeah. But if they did a Ferrari with Cameron in the back and Sloan and Ferris in the front, that
or
would,
the two garage guys.
That would
off the hill.
The two garage guys would be hilarious. That'd be amazing, but they won't do that.
They won't do that.
But it'd be amazing if they did.
But the three of them in the car, that would be cool.
Yeah. Anyways, all right. We talked too long about that.
Yeah, sorry this show's a little longer, but we really want to know what you guys think. So especially our American friends, what did you feel about the announcement this morning that Entertainment Earth went from $11.99 to $16.99, a 40% increase on commons? Tell us in the comments. We also want you guys to join our exclusive YouTube members. You can click join on any video and be a part of the group. We have exclusive content, live shows, discounts on the website, and more. Till next time, I'm Fish.
K-Dog.
We'll see you again soon.
See you.